Hello, I'm horceror. I want to find out what makes every single killer tick. There's one big glaring issue with that though. I play the Nemesis, essentially only the Nemesis. I physically cannot get thousands of hours of experience on every single character. So, I'm going to be interviewing people that do have those thousands of hours. One for every single killer. Welcome to Stars of the Fog. Today we'll be talking to a person who is very passionate about their killer, someone who is, one might say, dreamlike in a way, the nightmare, Freddy Krueger himself. My guest today is a very prolific Freddy player, and if you'd like to introduce yourself and what you're known for, the floor is yours.
Hey, my name is WesLV. Glad to be a part of the series, and I'm a Freddy main. Been peeing Freddy since July 2023. I've been playing him every day, maybe the last year or so. Love Freddy Krueger, love Killer. I'm glad he finally got some changes. And
starting from the very beginning, what got you into Dead by Daylight, and when did you start?
I got into Dead by Daylight around April 2022. I guess I got into it because of the Friday the 13th game. I played that for a long time, but I mostly focused on FPS games. I played Valorant for a while, and Fortnite. I guess Fortnite's not like an FPS, but it is a shooter.
Third-person shooter, yeah.
Yeah. So I just got tired of shooters and wanted, I guess, to hop into the horror genre more. And Friday the 13th obviously was dying because of the lawsuit and whatnot. So I've been loving DBD. It's been a great game. Trickster was actually my first main. So it's been, fun couple years bouncing around different killers.
So you started with Trickster after coming from Friday the 13th. Were you play killer in that game, or was it just more like...
Honestly, I preferred Counselor on Friday the 13th, but I chose Trickster because... on Valorant, there's an agent named Jet, and she throws knives, and I played a lot of Jet.
So you just wanted to throw knives again? Okay.
Exactly. It seemed very familiar, because even before all the default killers, I just read all the killer powers that were available, and Trickster just seemed to fancy me the most. It's kind of where that began.
So I'm actually kind of curious then. How did we get here? How do you get from being a Trickster player to a Freddy player? What is the pathway here? Because I don't see it in my head.
So I guess, every day is a little bit different. You're not going to be popping off every single day, hitting all the shots. So I kind of wanted a chill killer to play on the bad days. Okay. And Jason Voorhees is actually my favorite killer, but Freddy is a close second. There's Freddy versus Jason. Obviously, Jason's not in the game, and Freddy was available, so I decided to get into him more.
Okay. And it was never really a playing Survivor on off days type of thing. It was always a killer thing.
I used to be a Survivor main, actually. My first 2 Prestige 100s are Survivors.
Which 2?
Jeff and Lori.
Okay. How long was it until you became really a killer main specifically?
Probably became a killer main, I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago. I guess I fully started to like full send Freddy around Nick Cage. Because back before Nick Cage, I was definitely hopping around Killer and Survivor. And then once that era just happened, I just wanted to fully focus on Killer. I started enjoying it a lot more.
And then we got to Freddy.
Yeah. So I was a Trickster main, then I played a lot of Slinger because people would DC against Trickster, and that was before DC bots. So,
okay.
Yeah, I consider myself a Slinger main for a long time, but I did do Prestige 100 Freddy first. And then I just, kind of went from there.
So the initial draw of Freddy specifically was just you wanted a chill killer when you weren't aiming very well, and you liked them. Obviously, it's not Jason, which is your first favorite from what you said, but yeah. Freddy was just his movies and his lore and stuff.
Yeah, the initial appeal was definitely Freddy vs. Jason in the movies, and honestly, him in game, the Dream World was a lot different. Every map kind of felt unique, and teleporting around was kind of cool. Give you quicker access to gens and other parts of the map. So I just kind of like that about it. It was not really, at least the previous Freddy wasn't the most skillful, but it was a lot of mind gaming, which I kind of enjoyed. This new Freddy is obviously a lot more skill, I would say. So yeah, I would say it kind of came from that.
And just on topic of you enjoying his character and the lore and all that, would you say you're a pretty big Nightmare on Elm Street fan then?
I'm definitely a fan. I'm not the biggest movie head, so I don't know every little piece of lore, but I definitely enjoy the movies, Wes Craven, and even just Freddy in DBD. I know the Freddy we have is not the iconic Robert Englund, but I'm still glad that we have Freddy Krueger, the character, and yeah, it's really cool.
Cool. And while you just brought it up on topic of skill and reworks and all of that, so Freddy has always been kind of I don't mean this in a bad way, because everyone has their own thing, but he was a little basic. It was very simple as teleport, snare, pallet, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
how are you feeling about his rework and how drastically he's changed? Because like technically he still has snares, he still has pallets, but like they're radically different now from what he's been for his entire inception.
Exactly. So I definitely don't take offense to that. I'm actually one of the people who like would say that about the old Freddy. The old Freddy didn't really take much skill, and some people would even like get offended at me for saying that. But I play Freddy every day. I love Freddy. I know there's a lot of other killers that maybe you could showcase skill with, but he was like more mind gaming, which is like another form of skill if you want to think of it like that way. So it's not
Yeah,
all
for sure.
downsides. But this new Freddy is, I would say, a lot more skillful, like technically all around, because you need aim for the snares, you need like timing for the pallets, you need to worry about all these different like cooldowns. So he's definitely a bit more like focus heavy on the current one we have now.
And are you enjoying the change?
Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying the changes, but you do have to focus a lot more. So I don't know if he's going to be like that chiller killer, because you're constantly like switching back and forth between snares, pallets, teleporting. There's a ton going on, but it is a lot of fun. It's just kind of like adjusting to, you're like always hitting buttons.
Yeah, just a little more complex than what he used to be.
Exactly, but he's a lot stronger. Definitely improved on the Freddy character. I'm enjoying it.
Okay, well, I'm glad to hear you're enjoying it because I know this is going to be the next episode, but I was talking to Scorpionz and he was actually saying that like that would be probably one of the things that make him drop Pig, because if they completely change the fundamental of how the play of the killer works. So it's cool to hear that you're, enjoying it.
Yeah, it definitely has like that, because a bigger gap now on like maybe who would be a better Freddy, because there's like so much going on. So if you're just like a little more basic, it's probably going to be like easier to go against per se.
Yeah. So what is your absolute favorite part of Freddy? Just like tech, sound, visual, anything? Like what's the number one thing that always keeps you coming back to him?
It's my favorite thing about Freddy is probably teleport canceling, which I'm very glad they brought back. I think being able to cancel teleports and fake and create that illusion of if you're going to gens or if you're staying in the chase is like a very important part of Freddy's kit. So I'm super glad they brought that back from the beta.
And now you even
that's
have
definitely
more teleport canceling because you can also teleport people when they're healing in the dream world, right?
exactly, yeah. The teleporting to healers is pretty wild, but at the same time, there is quite the long cooldown, at least on the gen topic for like, I mean, you can teleport fake to healers, but it doesn't feel as like strong. So like teleport faking on gens, there's a 30-second cooldown now.
Wow.
It does feel a little bit weaker. You do notice that, but I'm still glad to have like canceling back.
And have the option there, absolutely.
Exactly.
And on the opposite side of things, what's the least favorite part of Freddy for you?
The least favorite part about the new Freddy
Or just Freddy in general?
is, yeah, maybe just adjusting to the new snares and the long cooldowns, and I guess like the 30-second canceling cooldown. It's like the new snares, I guess in the beta, is a 5-second delay, and now it's a 7-second. So sometimes the chases can feel kind of clunky, like you're forced to like M1 instead of like use your power. I know it was kind of spammy, people were saying, but I think it was just the one add-on that like made it feel like extremely spammy.
And what
And then,
add-on
yeah,
was that? Because I didn't even know Freddy's add-ons before the rework, and now they're all completely different. So what add-on are we talking about here?
So Freddy has an add-on called the jump rope. It's a green, and it makes the hindered 11% stronger.
11%
like,
stronger?
Yeah. So
Like-
like with the 5-second cooldown, people were just like spamming it, and like they were just
What is
constantly
it? What
slow.
is it base kit?
What do you mean?
Like the slowdown.
I think it's 12% now.
So an add-on took it from 12 to 23?
Yeah, if it works like that.
Wow. Okay.
It's still in the game, yeah.
All right. Yeah. And while we're actually talking about add-ons, I would love to hear your thoughts on them. I don't know if you've done a video or anything on that already, but like, how are you feeling about the new add-ons? Do you think they're overtuned, undertuned? What's your favorite to run? And then what do they do? What do they? It's just add-on. Give me some add-on stuff.
Yeah, honestly, they smashed it with the add-ons. Every single add-on is different than the old Freddy, so it's a lot to test out, a lot to like get used to, a lot to like synergize, I guess, to find like good add-ons that go well with each other. The other day, they actually just buffed Black Box again. So if you know the new Freddy, whenever a survivor gets slugged, they actually wake up. So Freddy has an add-on that blocks sleeping survivors for 15 seconds when they open the exit gate. But when you would slug them, they would just crawl out. So it was like a really sad thing. A lot of survivors always like teabag at the exit gate, and you would slug them, then they would just get out for free. And, It felt
didn't
bad
actually
using
know
an
that.
iridescent add-on. Yeah,
Like
it's
I thought it was just like basic hit Bloodborne, you know, you can't go out. But the waking up while being down thing, I didn't know that was a thing actually.
yeah. So that's a thing like throughout the entire game because you can teleport to healers. So I guess it kind of helps with that. You're right. You can't just like teleport slug people, teleport to slugs all the time
That makes sense, yeah.
because they're awake. Yeah. So with the update the other day, they made it so whenever survivors get slugged, if you have black box, that effect lingers for 3 seconds. So they have 3 seconds before they can actually crawl out. So you can actually like pick them up and hopefully activate Blood Warden or whatever you got going on.
Which seems
But
like
black
kind
box,
of an obvious change that they would have, because you know the whole point of the add-on is to block them from escaping. It's like, well, if you down them at the gate, they can just leave. It's like, okay, so good change.
yeah, that's why I'm like, even 3 seconds, because you know as a killer main, like 3 seconds with like the weapon recovery timer and you have to worry about like flashbangs or flashlights. Like that's really not much time. So you pretty much have to down them and like spam pickup because the old black box was just 15 seconds. You block them off for 15, the slug is blocked off for 15, whatever. But now it's like you kind of have to like hurry up with that 3 second timer.
Yeah.
But again, I'm glad they brought it back. It's same with like the teleport cooldown. They're adding these weird numbers to it, but like I'm glad they're kind of fixing it.
And like, you know, they're not going to smash everything out of the park like very first iteration. So I'm sure it's not just going to be like, okay, guys, we haven't touched Freddy for 7 years. We're not going to touch him for another 7 years. Like they're probably going to adjust the numbers a little bit.
Exactly. Some of these things are definitely like nitpicking little personal like preferences. But
yeah, if people thought 5 was too spammy and 7 is too long, maybe they're going to try 6 next.
Yeah, I agree. And then I guess another favorite add-on, I've been rocking Pallets more often, and there's a add-on called the Unicorn Block.
I thought you were going to say Z-Block.
No, Z-Block is really good too. We could get to that.
I don't know what either of them do. That's the one add-on I know by name, so.
Okay, so yeah, Z-Block is just pure aura reading now. If you hit somebody with a snare, if they throw a pallet, or if you rupture a pallet on them, you see their aura for 3 seconds.
So it's like mini Zanchin, kind of.
Exactly, yeah. But Unicorn Block, it's a rupture add-on. Makes your rupture radius 14% bigger.
And rupture's the blow up your pallet thing, right?
Yeah, ruptures are when you blow up the pallet. It's the new dream pallet. You can either injure a survivor, down a survivor, or if they're awake, it cuts down on their dream timer. So it actually doesn't do damage unless they're actually sleeping. So on certain maps, having that extra 14% radius is like really nice.
Yeah.
So I've been rocking that the most.
And like, as a real quick sidebar, I'm excited that they've made Freddy's Dream World actually feel threatening, because high key, every time I run into a Freddy, I'm like, I don't need to wake up. It's just like, as long as I'm paying attention, all it does is really hide where he is. Like now it actually feels like I need to go get a clock, you know, I need to wake up because I am going to get clapped if I don't.
Yeah, waking up is really important now. Like survivors do it. It's good for killers. Killers get more like dream states and all that stuff.
And it actually feels like, you know, it fits more into the fantasy of being the dream demon, you know?
Exactly, yeah. The old Freddy survivors would never even care to use the clock. You would just miss a skill check and you're good to go, or even just stay asleep. Like there's no penalty for the dream world really besides the lullaby.
Yeah.
So this Freddy, there's definitely a lot more going on with that rupture just threatening around. And I could talk about wake up add-ons if you want to a little bit.
Yeah, sure, you can talk about add-ons. We're still in that section.
So I guess some of Freddy's best add-ons, there's a pill bottle. Each time a survivor wakes up, they fall asleep 10% faster, up to 50%. So it's like a stacking buff.
Wow, all right.
That's probably one of his top 3 best add-ons right now, I would say personally. Then another one I've been rocking is Nancy's Sketch, which is a yellow. It cuts down on that immunity whenever a survivor uses a clock. They go immune for 30 seconds before they can start falling asleep. So Nancy's Sketch cuts it down by 20%, which is 6 seconds. So that kind of is a pretty big deal.
Is that like a stacking thing between the two? Is that like a good combo to run?
I don't know. It might be really good to run, but I haven't tried that combo. It's just kind of like one or the other, I would say. Because I like collecting dream states for like those killer leaderboards, if anybody knows about that.
Yes, of course.
It's all about the dream states, the dream demon medals or whatever. So I'm a fan of those add-ons.
You're actually the number one like Freddy for that, right? Like globally, worldwide, you're him.
Yes, I'm the number one Freddy. Technically, there's a farmer that's ahead of me. He farms in cross-play off. I don't know, some people might know about that. But he actually hasn't been playing much Freddy since he hit number 1, or you want to call it that. So I'm probably going to pass him somewhat. Like the last like month or 2, he has not been playing. So it does suck. Yeah, you know about that. A lot of people farm the leaderboards.
Not for Nemesis, no, but...
Okay, yeah, a lot of other killers. Yeah, I just hit 100,000 dream states a couple days ago.
That's pretty dang good. Holy moly. Just because I don't really have a good segue to the next question, I'm just going to go in a complete left turn. So cosmetic choices, right? Freddy has literally nothing. So I'm not even going to bother asking, like, do you think he has enough cosmetics? Because no, clearly. So we'll just skip to the end part. And like, if you could choose a skin for Freddy to be made, what do you think you would have him have?
I don't know. For Freddy, could do like tuxedo Freddy. Could do like the meme, like there's the Freddy with the sunglasses where he's smiling. There's like the prime time where he's like the TV. If anything, I would just like a classic, honestly, maybe like voice lines, and then just like maybe the classic Freddy skin. Because Robert Englund, the original actor for Freddy, has said he can't really play Freddy anymore in movies, but he can maybe do voice acting. So I feel like Dead by Daylight would be an absolute like perfect role for that. It might cost a lot of money, but I would absolutely love to have some Robert Englund voice lines, and whatever cosmetic would come with that, I'd definitely buy it. So yeah, so I'll say that.
Yeah, big fan of Robert Englund. He is like one of the faces of horror for sure.
Exactly.
And just on fans topics, so I've been seeing a lot more of Freddy recently because, you know, obviously he just got changed. Like I had my Community Swift night and like, I don't want to say like a third of the games were Freddy, you know, like a really big portion of it. So how frequently do you run into like fans of your killer or antis? And I guess just in general, how do you feel the community feels about Freddy now and why?
I guess there's like two sides to it, obviously. I feel like more people get excited because they see a prestige 100 Freddy. It really doesn't mean anything, but it's like rare. Like maybe they're seeing a lot of Freddys right now because he's new, but not many P100s. It's kind of always been like that even before the buffs.
Oh, absolutely.
People get really excited to see P100 Nightmare for whatever reason. But yeah, like you were saying, maybe like a third of the games are Freddy. There's definitely survivors that are DCing. Some people are saying like, oh my gosh, my fourth, fifth Freddy game in a row. It's like, I'm just going to DC until another killer. It's like, it's kind of a weird mindset to have. It does get boring playing the same killer, but
yeah, it's always a weird mindset to me because like, it's like the first day of a new killer coming out. People are going to be playing the new killer. Like, what?
Exactly. And it's such a different version. It's not just like he got some little minor changes, like his snares are different, the pallets, like there's so much to learn. It's not like you can master going against a Freddy that quick. But I do understand the burnout, I suppose. So just suck when people DC, but I don't know. I don't get too upset.
And how do you feel about his strength now? I know you said he was a little better, but, and not just, you know, they're this tier, but how strong do you think he is?
At the moment, honestly, because everybody has their different rankings, I'm not too much in the comp scene. I don't know like how things like play out, how like hardcore people rank, but I've definitely been ranking Freddy like C+. Some people have been throwing like a little B-, but I definitely throw him more like high C for my personal things. Like he's definitely a lot better, but with the cooldowns and like switching back and forth between the powers, like there's a bit of like clunkiness and like, I don't know, stickiness, I guess is like another word too.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if they like smooth that out, it can be like a pure like B- potentially, but like I definitely rank him in the C, like high C's at least for now.
All right, that's fair. And just on Freddy specifically, perks, right? That's a big part of, you know, Dead by Daylight in general.
Oh yeah.
This is a two-parter. What perks do you run specifically, like your favorites? And do you think there's any perks that Freddy specifically uses better than any other killer?
Okay, so I guess perks I personally run are just kind of more, I prefer kind of like chase oriented stuff, or I haven't been rocking it too much, but I did like some stealth Freddy. Maybe just like an average build I would run is like enduring, deadlock, surge, and maybe either like coup or save the best for last, something like that. So I don't go like too hardcore in like gen regression because I just don't find it as fun. In terms of like perks for Freddy, there's definitely a couple that stand out, especially with the new Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
Dream Pallets stun Freddy now, so enduring again. Hubris would be massive.
It's actually really funny. It's like, oh yeah, I use enduring better because I'm getting stunned more by my own pallets.
Yeah, you just swing into it. Like if you're not good at rupturing, honestly, just run enduring hubris, just swing into everything. Might have some success there.
For sure.
Then obviously barbecue and chili, you can just teleport across the map, whatever gen they're on. Guess I could work with like the new Jagged Compass, Pop Goes the Weasel. That is a nice combo. A lot of people have always said Thrilling Tremors is good on Freddy.
Oh yeah, because you can just teleport right to the gen that's unblocked, for sure.
Exactly, yeah. And then Endgame, of course. The new Remember Me is very strong. It went from like 24 seconds to 30 seconds. They added an extra stack.
That's pretty good.
So Remember Me is good. You could do like Black Box with, I don't know, full Endgame. You guys know Endgame, like No Way Out. You can
Endgame Freddy, yeah. It's like you cannot open the gate early against against Freddy because there's always that, like, I mean, there's always the threat of Blood Warden, but like Freddy is the Blood Warden guy. It's his perk, so it's always a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah, and there's an add-on now, the class photo. It's a purple. You can teleport directly to exit gates.
Like, are you inside it, or?
That is a bug, but you go like out. You're supposed to be outside, like just
outside the door.
TP to the
Okay.
gate. Yeah. But I have had a bug where I'm like inside and I'm blocked off. It was actually sad. I teleported with class photo. I got trapped behind the gate, and I had Remember Me, and the other survivor just ran out the other gate. Because you can see their killer instinct. So there's like two parts to that. On you can teleport to the gate, and if they're asleep, you get killer instinct while they're opening the gate. So I was just trapped behind the gate, seeing the killer instinct, just watching the cooldown. Like,
It's like,
it was
well,
pretty
I
funny.
guess he's going out the other door.
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, classic endgame Freddy. Good time.
Classic. And as good a place as any, and you just brought one up. So bugs and techs, you get stuck in the gate. And it might be a little early for you to know like every bug, but have you noticed any bugs for Freddy now?
Yeah, there's that, the class photo bug, and then I don't know if it's a ping issue or a bug. It does seem like a bug, but if Freddy ruptures a pallet and a survivor drops it at the same exact time, the pallet will actually still rupture and it can damage them. So I've had that happen a couple times. So that could be like a minor bug, but again, I don't know if it's like ping, because it's like one of those things, like there's always some weird like server issues going on. That might be it. I haven't noticed like too much. Just, I don't know. It's not really a bug, but just like the clunkiness, like switching between the powers is like kind of delayed. Same with teleporting. You hit teleport and you actually don't start going to like a second and a half, 2 seconds later. It's just like certain things like that could maybe use a fix.
And how about, secret Freddy techniques? Have you developed the West tech yet? Is there a West tech for Freddy, new Freddy?
Not yet, honestly. I've just been rocking Unicorn Block and Nancy Sketch, going for Rupture Downs. The former version of Freddy, I pretty much only ran Snare Freddy. I really enjoyed it. So it's been quite the change going from like snares to pallets. I still do use the snares a bit, but having that 7-second cooldown, I'm really not like focusing on snares. So
You've adapted your playstyle as he's changed.
Exactly, yeah. Old Freddy, I was definitely like super enduring heavy, swinging into every pallet, just trying to snare. Now I'm like a little more in the distance, trying to rupture. So I don't know too many techs yet, but I'm just trying to master like the rupture delay. There's a 1.5 second delay. So I'm trying to get like good downs with that. It's very satisfying.
And, just some common misconception stuff. I've seen clips of it, but the rupture is not just like on the x-axis, like it also goes up a little bit, right? So you can do like multi-story stuff.
Yes.
Like, are there any other specific misconceptions about Freddy that people might not know yet, or counterplay they're not using, anything like that?
Well, I guess for the 2-story thing, there are some like back to the bugs, there are some buggy pallets. I know on Midwich you could place a pallet in the stairs, and on the game you can place a pallet in the pipe wherever survivors like drop down that top level on the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can rupture people. Like you put the pallet in the pipe. If a survivor drops down, you can actually hit them when they're on the ground. So yeah, that's kind of crazy. And then what was the other question? Sorry.
What are like common misconceptions about Freddy and things that people might not be doing to counterplay your power?
I mean, just the main thing, like survivors, I guess, just need to wake up before they heal. Like that was a huge thing. A lot of survivors are like kind of upset, saying like teleporting to healers is going to be super OP, but literally all you have to do is wake up. So I think that's like a solid thing. I don't know. I guess survivors could pre-drop easier because I think they have the ability to see the dream pallets better, so they can like get rid of those.
You can definitely see them better, but they're also like, you have to be really close to them before you realize it's like a dream palette. Like you're not going to see it from like 30 feet away and be like, oh, that's a dream palette, obviously.
Oh, okay. I actually didn't know that.
It's like within it's in like 5 feet ish, and then it's like glowing red, and it's like, oh well, gotcha, okay.
Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense then.
But yeah, the new dream palette thing is I actually like it more because it was definitely funny when you were playing it before, when you would drop a dream palette, it just instantly blows up. And it's like, well, okay. And then you just stun Freddy who just hit you through it. But like, it feels a little bit better now, in my opinion, as just like when I'm playing Survivor. Because it's not just, okay, this is an identical palette and I had no way of telling. So it feels like there's more counterplay to it as well.
Yeah, survivors seem to be enjoying it. It could be maybe kind of annoying. They kind of compare it to landmines. Like you have a few around
I
And
think
you're
that's a
just like, oh
perfect
gosh,
analogy, actually. Yeah.
where do I go? But Behavior did a great job with the pallets. They actually added a lot more fake pallet spawns on most maps. Old Freddy, I almost never ran fake pallets because most of the maps did not have the greatest spawns. Even if you would like break a real pallet, sometimes you couldn't even spawn a dream one. And it's like, okay, well, what's the point of having this power then?
Yeah,
But pretty much on
exactly.
every map, you're cooking now. Like there's pallets everywhere. You can actually spawn the pallets from 24 meters, which is insane. You're just like sniping them, spawning them like very far away. It's definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, I even had I was playing a game on Toba against a Freddy with pallets, and I dropped a dream pallet, and he's like on the other side of main, just replacing the pallet that I'm trying. I break it like 6 times, and he just keeps putting it back. I'm like, man, leave me alone.
That's funny.
But yeah, as far as like the survivor experience type of deal, I don't really keep up too much with like what everyone does. So if you play Survivor and you play against Freddy, do you personally enjoy playing against him?
Yeah, honestly, I haven't played against the new Freddy. I don't really play Survivor anymore. It's really rare. I think the last like three resets I was Ash. So.
Okay.
But the old Freddy, yeah, I definitely enjoy it. Like it's cool seeing how other people play, like seeing, different play styles. Because I have so many hours in Freddy, like I obviously know what I'm doing. It's cool to see what other people do.
Yeah,
But I found with the old
100%.
Freddy, pretty much people just ran fake pallets. Almost nobody like snared. That was like a common thing. But now you have to do both. So
Now you get both too. You don't have to waste an add-on slot for it. That's just base game.
exactly.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
And
And
so
looking forward to, I guess, going against the Freddy in the future whenever that happens.
whenever I get on Survivor, guys, similarly, just following up on that, what is like the most frustrating part about playing against Freddy, do you think? Like just from a Survivor point of view, like a common grievance you think they would have? Because I know generally he just came out, so there's going to be a lot more, complaints about not knowing what to do. But is there like a number one thing where you're like, okay, this is maybe a little unfair?
Trying to think. Maybe now, I guess if you're just not aware, like there's a lot more teleporting. So like if you're trying to heal a teammate, you could like Freddy can just go back to hook potentially. Like if the person that's healing you is like asleep.
So it would definitely just be something like a learning curve type deal. But you don't feel like Freddy is inherently got something like super problematic. There's counterplay, you got to learn it.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. A lot of counterplay with the new Freddy. Again, I haven't played against him, so it's like a little bit hard to say. But just wake up, counterplay, use the clocks, and it makes it a lot harder for Freddy, to be honest.
Yeah,
How to
because
stay awake.
you can't slow him down. You can't hurt him with pallets if you're awake. Wake
Even
up.
end game now, like having that 30-second immunity. So like you're awake, there's the 30 seconds, and then you have to like fall asleep after that. Like it's a big like time killer. If Freddy does have like black box or like whatever end game add-ons, it's definitely good to like wake up during that. So just a learning curve, just constantly like running around. It does suck like getting off gens and interacting with power sometimes, but I just got to do it.
Got to go on your side quests, guys. And speaking of side quests and other tasks that maybe are related to Dead by Daylight, Winstreaking, an objective given to yourself. How do you feel about Winstreaking on Freddy? Have you ever done one? Do you enjoy it? Do you feel like it's easier compared to any other killers to win streak on them?
So to be honest, I've never done a win streak. I've never even tried. So my highest is probably just like whatever a normal like low win streak would be. I do respect win streaks, and I think they're like very fun to watch. But for me, they kind of add like a lot of stress and unnecessary like killing. I know I'm a killer. I'm supposed to kill, but I just like to have fun. I kind of want survivors to have fun too. I feel like for certain win streaks, you kind of have to like ignore that and just like kill the win. So I don't really do win streaks just for that factor, but I could see win streaks with the new Freddy. I guess depending on your perks, being a lot better than the former Freddy, right? Having that end game teleporting to blocked off gens, healers, all this stuff would definitely make it a bit more interesting if you were to want to do a win streak for Freddy. It's a good time if anybody wants to do that.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I don't really try to kill someone at 3 hooks or anything every game. And like I occasionally, I just a hook. It's like, well, oops, my bad. Yeah, it's just kind of, I'm here to have a good time. I play this video game to have a good time, and that's what I enjoy doing. So very cool. While we're talking about enjoying playing the game, oh boy, I love this question. What are your thoughts on the Going Next Epidemic, and how often do you really experience people doing that?
So yeah, I mean, that is definitely a pretty big topic. I feel like a lot of people would say that the DC increased whenever they removed like depipping and losing ranks. People just feel like they could go next with like no downside essentially.
Yeah.
So I do deal with DCs a lot. It's a little tricky to say now with like the updated Freddy. Like, are they DCing to be annoying? Or are they DCing because like it's the 10th Freddy they've played against today? It's like, what do you even say? But yeah, DCing has definitely been bad. Even on the old Freddy, I was always a little bit shocked. Like, wow, you're DCing against a Freddy, like one of the weakest killers, people would say. It's like,
Yeah,
it's
like
kind of a free
bottom
win. And a lot
three.
of, yeah, literally kind of a free win, and people would still DC. So it definitely like confused me, but I just accepted, go after the bots, I guess. That's all you can do. But it is a big problem for sure.
Yeah, it's just kind of something that it would be an ideal world. You have like your stick, you know, the punishment for going next type of deal. You know, the losing pips things, as you said. I think there should be a little more, but whatever. And then like there should be incentive for staying in games. You know, I don't know what it would be, but like, you know, a positive. You know, so you can get a little bit of A, a little bit of B, and then hopefully, and it's just a whole situation where you're like the slugging, the tunneling, like everything that can make an experience worse. And then it's just like, how do you deal with that, really?
Yeah, it gets bad. Because as killer mains, I feel like we have it a little bit easier. People are going next. Like, you could say it makes it easier on us because like a real person's gone. But for like the survivor side, it would probably be really annoying because you don't really want a bot teammate.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't even really want a bot opponent because I don't feel any joy winning if it's like, okay, you know, the bot just vaulted the same window 3 times back and forth and I get a free hit. It's like, there's no brain power to it. It's just whatever.
If you have an early DC, it's like, do you tunnel the bot? Because sometimes they're efficient. Like, they'll just gen rush, or if you have hexes, they'll definitely find those hexes. Like, what do you even do? Kind of makes the game feel just awkward.
It's like an empty victory. It's hollow, is what I'll say.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So it just kind of feels bad, I guess.
Yeah, you're just kind of going through the motions. Like, all right, guess
Yeah,
we're finding this one
exactly.
out. Let's go.
We've kind of talked about updates treating you pretty much this whole video because, you know, it's a very recent, very new thing for Freddy to get an update, insane concept. But how do you think the game has changed around Freddy? Like, how has the meta treated you? How have perk changes, map changes, you know, stuff like that? How has that gone for Fredward himself?
Honestly, doesn't seem too bad. I feel like 2024 was kind of the year they nerfed a lot of like gen regression and stuff like that. So maybe like Freddy could have gone hurt. I never played like the OG Freddy with like Forever Freddy and, you know, ruin whatever people did. So I know that was obviously like busted, but the current times, the current changes, like it feels okay because being a killer that doesn't run too much gen regression, it can feel a little fast, but at least I can like teleport across the map. So it's like, I can't complain too much. Honestly, most of the maps are kind of good too overall. I think they try to make some of the maps like friendlier for M1 killers, so definitely benefited Freddy.
As an M1 killer, absolutely. But now you could even say he's a little bit of an M2 killer because he can blow people up.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's like an 18-meter snare and a 24-meter pallet, so you can definitely do some like snipes in there.
His power is powering for sure.
Yeah, he leveled up.
So, what is your favorite map for Freddy? And what is your least favorite map? And are these the same as your killer's best and worst maps?
So my favorite map for Freddy, I would say, is RPD, preferably East Wing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm down with West too, but I just like East because it's like outdoor. It feels like a little bit cleaner when you're just chasing. It doesn't feel like you can get lost in the building as much. West side can be a little chaotic, but I love RPD. I actually love Toba Landing, which is like a weird one.
I mean, I agree. I think Toba is very fun to play. So
whenever I mention Toba, people get disgusted. Like, I think you're the first person that's actually agreed.
I mean,
it's like somewhat of a fun map.
Yeah, I know it has like its issues with like overstimulation and shit like that, and like I don't disagree. Sometimes I'm like, oh, are those footsteps? And it's just like the big picture playing going, but like, other than that, I do enjoy the map and playing on it because like there's a lot of fun hits for me. You know, I'm also a balance landing user, sorry, but so main building is also really nice, and then I enjoy playing it both sides for sure. I think they could definitely do with some accessibility settings for the map, but other than that, yeah,
it gets noisy. You got the plants, you got like the bugs, like it's definitely could be a lot.
Yeah,
I guess a few others like Midwich, the game, most indoor maps are fun.
Except Larry's, right?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Larry's. Maybe with the new Rupture could be fun, but I hate Larry's.
I'm seeing a lot of overlap here between our favorite maps, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I ran Larry's the other day actually, and there were not many like fake pallet spawns. Like it seemed like they didn't add many new ones or even any. Tragic. So that might be on like my bad list now. Because it was already pretty low before, but now it's like, can't really pallet on it that good.
For sure. And what about, your least favorites?
Least favorites. Let's see. Probably some of the swamps. Definitely a Grim Pantry hater.
Yep.
It's kind of hard. I don't know to determine like each of the difference. I know survivors bring Macmillan a lot, so one of the Macmillans can be pretty annoying. Eerie of Crow.
Classic.
I actually do okay at Eerie of Crow most of the time, but again, that's another map offering map. So whenever I see it, I just become on edge. Like,
Yeah, it's like a roll my
usually,
eyes type of thing. It's not that
yeah,
like this is my worst map. It's just like they always send me this one, so I gotta lock in.
yeah, literally. I'm trying to think if there's any other one. I guess Hawkins is a little mid. Badham. So yeah, there's a few. I guess Badham 4 and 5 are really bad.
Ham.
I'd really
Yeah.
mind 1 and 2, and then 3 I'm not really sure of. But Badham 1 and 2 are usually okay for me.
I gotta be so honest. I despise Badham. I don't like playing any building on that map. I don't like being sent there. I don't like going there. I don't want to be there. Main building sucks. All the buildings suck. I just legitimately worst map for me. Not even a contest.
It's bad. If you're not a teleporting killer, even if you're a teleporting killer, it's a tough map.
Yeah, it's rough, man. It's rough. I don't like it. So
That's why it's very killer with no cosmetics has a map with 5 variants. Like,
how about this?
How did we get here?
We can remove 4 of the variants. Let's keep like 1, and then we'll give him 4 cosmetics. I'll take that trade.
I'll take that trade all day.
I'll take that deal. You take that deal, I'll take that deal. And I will ask this one, which I do think is a little bit of a fun one too. Do you think that maining Freddy specifically has given you transferable skills to other killers, other games outside of Dead by Daylight?
Other killers a little bit. Funny enough, I feel a little bit better when I play Dredge, and when I actually played Vecna yesterday. So doing like the mage hand kind of felt like a rupture and stuff like that. Dredge, I guess, with his remnant, it kind of felt like the old Freddy snare. You like set it down, go back the other way, you teleport across the map to lockers. So I don't play those killers very often, but I feel like it helped me a little bit.
Okay. I wasn't really expecting either of those to come up, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like if I was gonna be like, oh yeah, I get my M1 fundamentals, I'm better at playing, like Trapper or something now.
Yeah, most people, I guess, compare Freddy to like Clown. It's like, oh, it's a better Clown, but a little bit like Onryo maybe. But
yeah, for the teleport mechanics and the cross map macro type of deal and all of that.
Exactly, yeah.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, so as far as like macro and micro type stuff goes, how do you feel that playing Freddy has affected like your ability to use your game knowledge to know where people are? Because Freddy is definitely a guy that can go straight across the map in like 2 seconds. I can't do that on Nemesis. So do you feel like that's like made you better as a player?
Yeah, definitely. Freddy has a lot going on in terms of that. Just being able to pressure like a lot of different areas at once. The new Freddy, you do have like a lot of like micromanaging between like the snares and the pallets and the gens. Having the teleport faking, you usually do that in a chase, right? That's the strat. You like mid chase, you start teleporting to a gen, so the teammates are like, all right, are they teleporting here? Are they, staying with the chase?
Mm-hmm.
It's really good for creating that, I guess, map-wide pressure. Yeah, with the new Freddy, there's definitely a lot more micromanaging. Knowing when to use your snares compared to your pallets, like switching ahead of time to like get the rupture ready. It's definitely a lot of like stuff like that, I guess, that's kind of fun. Definitely different on the new version.
Okay. Yeah, Nemesis has like a little bit of that too, because like for the most part, he is a micro killer. I throw the whip, I hit the survivor. That's pretty much it. But like with the zombies, that actually is a little bit of macro play, because even if a zombie isn't actively chasing a survivor on the other side of the map, you can still know like, okay, my zombie's pathing somewhere. I know someone's not in that corner. You got to get like a very vague idea where survivors are at any point in time. So it's cool. It's nice to have a little bit like outside of just the what's directly in front of you as options go.
Yeah, like outside of straight perks, you have some like other knowledge coming in.
Yeah, exactly. How long do you think Dead by Daylight is going to last?
Probably a while, honestly. I talk about it sometimes, like, it's just, like, this game doesn't have much competition at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I compare DBD to Fortnite almost, like, daily. Like, they're at a level of, like, collabs and just no other games can get near that. I know that's not, like, the total appeal, but it is, like, a major thing to have, like, movie characters or TV show characters, other video game characters in your, like, special, like, your favorite game.
Yeah, exactly. Like you cast a wide net.
Yeah, so I think it'll last for quite a while unless something just comes out of the water. Even like, let's say, even if like Friday the 13th came back because that game just like shut down, like people still play DBD. Like, there's so many characters in DBD.
Yeah, I think
Like the
healthy
gameplay loop,
competition is just good for everything, really.
for sure. Yeah, people still play like Texas Chainsaw and I don't know whatever other games there are. But
And you're
yeah,
about
as
to
far
talk
as,
about the gameplay loop?
yeah, the gameplay loop is definitely fun. Like people like it. I think the thing that gets stale the most, at least for me, is like the meta perks. But that's kind of the way for like most games. It's just like a weird time we're in. Pretty much everybody just looks for like, it's really easy to find the strongest things, the best things.
Yeah,
So people don't run like things they like necessarily.
I'm real tired of finesse light. I'm gonna be real with you.
Finesse, lithe, dramaturgy, scene partner, 8 hours a day, every lobby. Like that's
I don't
all you
see a lot of
see.
scene partner actually. Scene partner is relatively rare for me.
I see that all the time, and I hate it. The Steves out there. Yeah, those are definitely some of my least favorite perks. Adrenaline, or not adrenaline, sprint burst.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really runs adrenaline anymore. I'm not gonna lie.
They're rocking that hope.
Yeah,
Hope is insane.
I just feel like I'm going crazy sometimes for sure. Just like, yeah, in my ideal delusional land where I would enjoy Dead by Daylight if it was balanced more around not having exhaustion perks and not having slowdown. That would be like, it would be a fun experiment, I guess. I'm not just trying to say we should do that like tomorrow and just remove the entire identity of the game, but like I think it'd be fun to try. Because when I'm in Chaos Shuffle and I don't have to worry about like, oh, this guy's gonna have life, this guy's gonna have sprint burst, this guy's gonna have balance landing, like I have so much more fun because I just play and like however well I do is however well I do. You know, it's just like it's me. It's not, oh, I got carried by a perk, you know?
Exactly. Like it seems like a lot of times you lose to perks compared to like actual skill.
Yeah, exactly.
Chaos Shuffle, you can definitely cook.
I mean,
Unless
I can
maybe
also
you get no mither and you're down bad, but like
yeah,
most
that's
perks you can cook with.
yeah, even like the Huntress basement perk, Territorial Imperator or whatever. Like I caught like 4 people in the same game with that. So
They're looking for medkits down there.
they look for Menkits. I mean, the first one, it was someone going for Invocation, which was really funny. And yeah, I could have done it with the Pursuer because, you know, same time period. But like, I was like, oh, perk value. Holy moly. Yeah, I love Chaos Shuffle. I think it's so much fun.
Yeah, I love it too. That game is so fun.
And for my absolute last question for you here, Mr. the Freddy, what would make you drop Nightmare completely? Say a change, I mean, not a change apparently, but a new character from a new license, like anything at all. What would be the nail in the coffin, never play Freddy again?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know if that would actually like fully happen. If they didn't bring teleport canceling back, I honestly would have been like very, very salty. I would have pushed through for like a month or so and, you know, try to learn it. But I would have been very upset if they didn't bring teleport canceling back because it's such a major part of his like chase and just the pressure across map. But even like I love Jason and I'm a big Art the Clown enjoyer. So if you've got Art the Clown or Jason, I'd probably play them a lot, but I don't see myself like fully dropping Freddy. I do like the new changes.
I've heard
Still here to stay.
that, you know, allegedly they already have the Jason kit cooked up and they're just saving it for when they get the license.
That I would love that. That'd be a fun one. Killer, Survivor, you could do Tommy Jarvis, Matt potentially.
Yeah, there's no way we don't get the lake if we're getting Friday the 13th. There's no way. Come on.
I'd probably live on that map. Like,
yeah.
I'd be that one killer spamming offerings.
Yeah, that's pretty much all the questions I've had for you today. I appreciate your coming on and all that. So now I'm just going to give you this little section here at the end where if you want to drop all your links, I'll put them all up on screen. You can talk about stuff you have coming up, stuff you're excited about, you know, anything you want to talk about. This time is yours, so go for it.
Okay, bet. Well, thank you so much for having me. Glad to be part of the S.T.A.R.S series. But if anybody doesn't know me, I'm WesLV. I stream on Twitch pretty much every day. I go live around like 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. So I'm a little bit of an early morning, afternoon gamer, depending on where you are. But I don't have too many plans at the moment. Just love playing DBD. I stream almost every day. And we just plan on cooking with the new Freddy, seeing what 2025 has in store. Obviously, Five Nights at Freddy's is coming around this summer.
Oh my god, Freddy, whoa!
A new Freddy.
Dude,
Freddy.
wait, that what would make you drop your killer completely? What would make you stop playing Freddy? Well, I'm gonna stop playing Freddy, but I'm actually gonna start maining Freddy, so
I'm switching Freddy, so that's a real answer right there.
That would be so funny, actually. I didn't think about that.
But I'm looking forward to like that's gonna be a major collab as well. I don't know too much about Five Nights at Freddy's, but I know it's like a major game, huge fan base. I think it'll bring a lot of new people into DBD.
I know a lot
So
of people are excited for it for sure.
yeah, 100%. Definitely gonna watch the movie like leading up to that release, just so I'm like familiar with a little bit more. But yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, well, thanks for being here and, taking time out of your day to talk to me about the nightmare. And to everyone here that's been listening, watching, perusing, viewing, all that, I hope you have a lovely rest of your morning, noon, evening, night, whatever it might be. And, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. So, see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Later.